Hi friends, it's Mrs. Solomon, and I have made a video to share with you so that we can pick up where we last left off when we saw one another. So we had listened to a podcast. A podcast, if you remember, is like a show that you listen to. Instead of watching, you just listen. And the podcast that we listened to was called Pants on Fire. So if you remember, we talked about pants on fire being an idiom. So it doesn't mean exactly what it sounds. If somebody says to you, your pants are on fire, it doesn't mean that your pants are on fire for real. It means that they think that you're not telling the truth. So why is that a good name for this podcast? Because in this podcast, we were trying to figure out who was telling the truth and who was not. The episode we listened to was on hurricanes, and two different people said that they were experts on hurricanes. One was Crystal, who said that she was a meteorologist, and the other was Dennis, who said he was a hurricane hunter and flew planes into hurricanes. And 10-year-old Sophie asked each of them questions and tried to figure out who was telling the truth and who was lying. So as we listened, we heard some new words. The word meteorologist means a person who predicts the weather and maybe shares it on TV. Climate is patterns of weather. So if it is usually warm, you would say that the climate is warm. If the pattern is that it's usually cool, you might say that it's a cool climate. Hurricane and cyclone are two different names for storms that are pretty similar. They form with big rings of clouds that go in huge circles. You can see in this picture from far away, from in outer space, you can see that the clouds move in a big circle, winding around and around. Storm surge, flood, that means that the waters that should be in a river or in the ocean have rushed up onto the land and are in the roads, in homes where they don't belong. Gale force winds are really strong winds that can knock things over and pull down trees. So next, we listened to the beginning of the podcast, and then we reviewed who said what. So I have some sentences to share with you, and you can listen and decide what you remember. Who said which thing? Who said that they worked as a meteorologist? Was it Crystal or Dennis? It was Crystal. Crystal worked as a meteorologist. Who said that they had been struck by lightning? That was Dennis. Dennis said that he was struck by lightning. Who said that they flew planes into hurricanes? If you said Dennis, you remembered correctly. Who said that they compared hurricanes to milkshakes? Yes, if you said Dennis, you got that one right too. Who said that they made mood casts, which were little emojis that said that the weather was either happy or not so happy? That was Crystal. Crystal made mood casts when she told the weather. At least that's what she said. Let's see. Who said that they loved storms as a kid? That was Crystal. Who said that they dropped weather tools into storms? That was Dennis. And who said that they worked for News 12? That was Crystal. All right, so for this last part, I want to know what you think so far. And if you will make an audio recording, a voice recording of your voice and send it to me, or you can make a video of yourself and send that to me, then I will send you the link to the podcast and you can listen to the end and find out who the real expert is. But in the meantime, I want to know what you're thinking so far. So here's a sentence starter for you. I'd like you to tell me, I think the real expert is Crystal or Dennis because, and then give me your reason. Then I want a second reason. Another reason I think Crystal or Dennis is the real expert is, and see if you can give me a real reason, another reason. It doesn't have to be right. I just want to know what you're thinking so far. And as soon as you send that to me, again, I'm going to send you the rest of the podcast for you to listen to. All right. I can't wait to hear from you, and we'll be in touch. Bye, guys.